We found this dresser for free, but I hated the all black color. So today we will be fixing that. I'm not a DIY person, so it had to be something really simple for me to be able to make it. Our goal is to make this dresser look a lot better without spending a ton of money or turning it into a week-long project. I wanted this done by the end of the day. It had to be simple, affordable, and beginner friendly because again, I'm not the greatest at DIY projects. I don't even have the right tools, so all I used was a wooden spatula and a silicone one.
We found a dresser! We needed a dresser so bad, and we found one for free. That is this huge thing right here. But I don't like how it looks. First, it's really dirty. That's easy to fix. But I don't like the black furniture color. I never liked. So we are thinking about doing something. And you guys are gonna come with us. I don't know if we will paint all white. That would be an option. Or if we would just do wallpaper in the drawers.
I actually really like the dresser. It has so many drawers, which is amazing for storage, and that's something I really needed in my house. And I love that it has a divider in the middle of the drawers. It's super functional. The only problem for me is that it wasn't my style and it wouldn't match the rest of the room. So the easiest option for us was the wallpaper.
So now we're going to Home Depot to see what we can find, and hopefully we find a nice wallpaper to cover this. I'm so excited.
So we went to 3 different stores looking for wallpaper, and apparently nobody sells wallpapers in store anymore. It's usually only sold online, but I was determined to get this project done today. We finally found some at Target, and while we were there, we found this really cute piece of wall art on sale that we ended up buying for above our bed. It was definitely not part of the original plan, but I feel like that's how every home project goes. Once we got home, the first thing we did was remove all of the drawers and give everything a really good cleaning. I wanted to make sure there wasn't any dust or dirt underneath because I didn't want to spend all this time on this project just for the wallpaper to start peeling later. While everything was drying, we started measuring. For the first drawer, we measured the wallpaper exactly to the size of the front. Technically, it worked, but once we finished it, I wasn't completely happy with the results. The edges weren't as clean as I imagined, and it didn't look as finished as I wanted.
Because I think it's gonna last longer if we can, like, close here, babe. Because otherwise it's gonna be hanging in.
So for the next drawer, we decided to cut the wallpaper slightly larger than the drawer front so we could wrap it around the edges. And honestly, that made such a big difference. The finish looked cleaner, more custom, and a lot more professional. Applying the wallpaper was actually way easier than I expected. We used the peel and stick wallpaper, which meant we didn't need any glue or any special products. I was fully expecting this project to be a lot more complicated, but all we really needed were 2 different spatulas. The wallpaper had these small squares printed on it, which ended up helping a lot because I used them as guide. Every time I started a new drawer, I tried lining up the pattern with the previous one so everything would look as consistent as possible once the dresser was put back together. The hardest part was definitely the beginning of the drawer, but once you get all the first section lined up correctly, the rest is actually pretty easy. I slowly peeled off the backing while pressing the wallpaper onto the drawer. Then I used the wooden spatula to smooth everything out and get rid of any air bubbles. After that, I went over the edges and corners with the silicone spatula to make sure everything was sealed down nicely and had a cleaner finish. Honestly, this was one of the projects that felt intimidating before starting, but it ended up being way simpler than I expected. And that's why I think I love doing this little DIY project. And maybe I'll be up for more in the future. You don't need a huge budget or a complete room makeover to make your space feel different. Sometimes changing one small thing can completely change how a room feels. In total, it took us about 2 hours from start to finish and less than $40. And every time I walk into the room now, it makes me happy. It's such a small change, but it completely transformed the dresser. Maybe one day we will paint the entire piece white and do a big makeover, but for now, I absolutely love how it turned out. And this proves that sometimes you don't need to replace something to make you feel new again. See you next time. Bye!